Hello, my name is Jeremy, just your average everyday guy. That is until sometime in my early 30s, I developed a spinal condition known as ankylosing spondylitis. It took me from this, 6 foot tall, to this, not 6 foot tall. But I wasn't going to let that get me down forever, so eventually I kicked some bad habits and started fighting back. I still get some pretty strange looks, but I'm now doing what I love, traveling and adventuring. My goal is to show other people with disabilities or anyone facing challenges that your best days don't have to be behind you and that there's always hope. So thanks for joining me, the Handicapped Hiker. On the last episode, I made a couple of quick visits to Craters of the Moon National Monument and Grand Teton National Park before arriving at my home for the next 7 nights. So let's pick up there at the south entrance of Yellowstone National Park.
Hey, Don.
Good, how you doing?
Need a map?
Yes, please.
There you go.
Thank you. Yep. As I mentioned in a previous Yellowstone episode, this was the world's first national park, the birthplace of our incredible park service, and the genesis for what Ken Burns refers to as America's best idea.
$280. This is me right here, huh?
After checking into the campground and searching all over Grant Village for cell service, I decided to head over for a short walk around the West Thumb Geyser Basin. This is a 1-mile loop of entirely accessible boardwalk. To finish the day, I headed back to camp for a nice campfire. But guess what? It rained. Are you noticing a pattern on this trip? Day 2 begins with a short drive to the Ferry Falls trailhead for the 1.5-mile out and back hike up to Grand Prismatic Overlook. In its early years, Yellowstone was nicknamed Wonderland because the things that were discovered here were simply indescribable and like no other place known on Earth. In fact, people back east didn't believe the stories they were hearing, or even the paintings or photographs they were seeing for the first time. But there is a downside to this amazing place in modern times, which you'll see a lot of in this video. I prefer to keep things positive and look at the bright side as much as possible. And believe me, I had to edit a lot of my frustrations out of this video. If you're visiting any time during the summer months, it will be an extreme test of your patience, but still very rewarding in many ways. Since I'm nearby, I figured I'd head over to Old Faithful Village. And I'm already too late. The tour buses and crowds are pouring in from every direction. I'm just going to enjoy the rest of the day, taking my time on the main loop road, looking for wildlife and maybe some less popular attractions. With some luck, I managed to find a trailhead with parking available. So let's check it out. This is the Pelican Creek Nature Trail, a 0.8-mile loop on the northern shore of Yellowstone Lake. There's nothing mind-blowing about this trail, but exploring the lake shore is a fun break halfway through the hike. Despite a few rude tourists that I encountered. They must be lost. The rest of your crowd is over at Old Faithful.
You know, one thing that's hard for me and I never get used to is when I come to a busy place like this, you know, sometimes I wish I could just fit in with everyone else. I see a lot of people nudging each other, whispering behind their hand, and then the other person looks directly at you and giggles. Like, yeah, I know what you're saying. I get it. It happens a lot with children too, but that I try to understand is it's just the innocence of the child. Maybe they've never seen anything like, you know, my condition before. So they don't know any better, so I don't get too upset about that. Most of the time, the parents will correct the child, and I'll just smile to let them know that it's not a problem, no hurt feelings, you know. But I'll be honest, it does start to get to me after a while. After it happens over and over and over again. And some people are just plain mean about it. Some people just laugh and point right at you. You know, I'm already an introvert naturally. I don't like being in crowded places already, even before I had this back problem. So with the back problem, it's even harder for me to feel comfortable in crowded places like this. You know, I mean, I deserve to come out here and enjoy these trails and enjoy these places too. Is this the way everyone was raised, was to laugh at people like me? You know, it does. I'm not invincible. It does get to me, and it really does bother me and get me down sometimes. And it makes me wonder why I do this to myself, why I come out here and put myself through this. But you know, after a while, I just have to remind myself that I've accomplished more with these challenges that I've faced than most of these people ever will. It's not my character flaw, it's theirs. So I just want to say, it's not easy. This is still hard for me to get out here and do this, and to see people point at me and laugh at me and giggle and whisper. It's hard. It's hard. But you shouldn't let that stop you from coming out and enjoying these places. Sometimes people are just terrible people, and that's all they're ever going to be. Sometimes people just don't know any better. I'm not going to go into hiding because I look funny. Never. Yeah, I know. Nobody wants to hear me whining about my condition or how others treat me, especially when I'm lucky enough to be visiting such amazing places. But these things happen, and nobody should ever have to feel like they don't belong. Sometimes venting about it helps me regain clarity and focus on my mission. Now let's get back to seeing some cool stuff. On my way back to the main loop road, I'm gonna make a quick stop at the historic fishing bridge, which ironically you can't fish from anymore. Marina area, taking a trail that I did with two good friends back on my first visit to Yellowstone over 20 years ago. 3.1 miles out and back up to Natural Bridge. Crowds of tourists out here. You gotta get away from the road. You gotta get away from the parking lots, people. Giant boulders left in the trail. By Sasquatch, no doubt. And here we see the basic North American tourist in what they think is their natural habitat, doing what they do best, stupiding. Don't be like these people. Don't get out of your car, and definitely don't go chasing into the woods after wildlife. It's a great way to get fined, and even better, injured. I'm kidding. I don't wish harm on anyone, even when it's deserved. After a quick turnaround, and the first sign of inclement weather, I went back to the Bridge Bay parking area and got a great view of what all these idiots, I mean nice people, were chasing after. From my car, at a safe distance, not blocking the roadway, and not interfering with the animal. Mic drop.
Up until now, it had been a beautiful day with clear skies, no wind, and of course, no way to check the weather. Then things got bad, really fast.
So we've just had a pretty good storm blow through Yellowstone. And as you can see, there are trees down everywhere. I'm on Gull Point Drive right now, and I was hoping to get around a traffic jam on the main loop road. But as you can see, that's not going to happen. There are a lot of trees down here. I was on the main road and I was literally watching trees snap in half all around me. And now traffic is backed up in every direction. There's trees down in the road everywhere. And hopefully it doesn't take them too long to get this cleaned up, because I really don't want to sleep in my car on the road tonight. But these trees are just... they came down like twigs everywhere, just all around, 360 degrees. They were just snapping off halfway, pulling the roots right out of the ground. You could hear them crashing through other trees. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. I don't know if this sort of thing happens often here in Yellowstone, because, you know, earlier today driving around, I didn't notice a lot of debris in the roadways, so everything was fairly clean. And now, just in a matter of minutes, they have got a pretty good mess on their hands. So right now I'm just trying to find internet signal to see if the storm's over, or if it's going to continue to storm, or if maybe there's another storm on the way. You know, if I'm going to be sleeping in my car in a campground surrounded by these pine trees, it would be kind of nice to know if this is over, or if there's more to come. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. It just came out of nowhere. It was a beautiful sunny day, and then it started to get a little cloudy, then it started to drizzle, and then bam, it just hit. Yeah, exciting. Yellowstone's always full of surprises. As you can see right now, there's a lot of other cars just trying to figure out what the heck's going on. Oh geez, yeah. And if you look over here, way over there on the other side of the lake, you can just see a line of traffic on the main road. Oh boy. This might take a while to clean up, folks. Look at all those cars over there. Oh my goodness. Let's just hope we can get south of here, because I do not want to get into that mess. So cell service is down. Can't get online to check the weather. I guess we're just gonna have to wing it here. Wow, and here's the main road. Oh my, what a mess. What a mess, what a mess.
for this group of guys getting out of their cars and actually carrying trees off the road, this drive back to camp could have taken all night. I guess the basic tourists are good for something after all. Credit where credit's due. We all play a part. There's still a lot of action to come from Yellowstone, including more wildlife than I had seen on my previous 3 visits combined. Then later, I'll head north to meet up with the family for a week in Glacier National Park, where things get a bit too wild. So be sure to tune in for the next episode, and we'll see you then.